This is a Pixel 6 I found on eBay for only $235 used. Well over a year after release though, it's still everything it was when it was new. Fast as it pushes the cleanest Android experience out there, with excellent cameras and a sleek build. That's why I think this is the best used phone under $250 right now, so if you need to be pulled away from the temptation of shiny $500 plus phones, this is the video for you. So this video is going to cover the top most compelling features of this phone in 2023, with the more average features also covered at the end of the video. So starting with aspects of this phone that age the best, there's first the pixel smoothness. As far as out-of-the-box experiences go, Pixels have some of the smoothest software on the Android side of things, and using this 6 confirms it stays that way for a while. The 90Hz screen is great, Android 13 is nice to look at, and the first-gen Tensor chip is more than powerful enough to push all that effortlessly. This phone is not only functionally fast to cover the basics and not keep you waiting, but it's also got fluidity that punches well above its weight for $235. The only asterisk to that is that the Tensor Gen 1, even when new, wasn't a raw power or performance overhead focused chip, so if you're looking for the highest benchmark scores at this price, maybe look elsewhere. But if you want a very fast and smooth everyday experience, this $235 Pixel 6 performs really well. Next up, there's the camera. Pixels are just as well known for their cameras as their software, and this particular set of lenses does not disappoint. This setup uses the same 50 megapixel main camera as the $900 Pixel 7 Pro, so absolutely nothing to complain about there, and while the ultra-wide camera is worse than the one on that phone and the telephoto is non-existent, this is still a really good setup for the price. I think quick snaps from this main camera are as good as you can get these days, and the only drawback with the photo side is no full 50 megapixel output as JPEGs or RAW files. Video here is good for the price at up to 4K 60 FPS, but do know Pixels are generally worse with videos than photos, so there will be some noise and occasionally unpredictable exposure and focus adjusts. As a whole though, this camera system is better than 90% of phones at this price, new and used. Up next is the design language. This generation of Pixels added the camera bar, which I think aged very well and gave the Pixel hardware some much needed identity. I also like this particular manifestation of the bar as it's more mysterious than the newer 7 and 7 Pro, hiding the cameras and adding more contrast to the back. It is technically less seamless than the metal bar, as if you look closely, it's made up of 4 or so separate pieces, but I think both looks are very nice. I'm really weird with how I carry my phone. I pull it out of my pocket with the back facing me, then flip it over, just so I can appreciate the industrial design, and this Pixel 6 passes the pocket flip test, as I like seeing this glass back plus camera bar design in sort of seafoam green. Last but not least, the remaining aspects of the $235 Pixel 6 we're gonna cover are the display, fingerprint reader, and battery. Now I said I'd ordered this video from the best aging features down, and so these last 3 aspects are where the 6 is average, or a bit above average for a $235 used phone. The screen is an appreciable 6.4 inch size at a good 1080p plus resolution, but it does only reach 800 nits of max brightness and covers only 83% of the front of the phone. An underscreen fingerprint reader is of course appreciated, but it's not the fastest with no option for additional face unlock. And the 4614 mAh battery is just good enough for a day of heavy usage. I've used worse, I've used better, but it's definitely not outstanding, especially considering this isn't a particularly fast charging phone. But hey, nothing is remotely close to a deal breaker in these 3 categories, and in the grand scheme of things, the Pixel 6 is decent with them all. That about wraps it up for the video though. If you're interested in picking up a used Pixel 6, feel free to do so from the description below. I've linked the lowest prices from reputable eBay sellers. Subscribe to receive some positive energy, and I'll see you later.